office investigated another Russian-related contact with Papadopoulos, the office was not able to fully explore the contact because the individual at issue, Sergei Milan, remained out of the country since the inception of our investigation and declined to meet with members of the office despite our repeated efforts to obtain an interview. Papadopoulos first connected with Milan via LinkedIn on July 15, 2016, shortly after Papadopoulos had attended the TAG Summit with Clovis 500. LinkedIn message Milan to Papadopoulos. Milan, an American citizen who is a native of Belarus, introduced himself as president of the New York-based Russian-American Chamber of Commerce and claimed that through that position he had insider knowledge and direct access to the top hierarchy in Russian politics. 501. LinkedIn message Milan to Papadopoulos. Papadopoulos asked Timofeev whether he had heard of Milan. Although Timofeev said no, Papadopoulos met Milan in New York City. 504. Text message Papadopoulos and Milan. The meetings took place on July 30th and August 1st, 2016, 505. Text message Papadopoulos and Milan. Afterwards, Milan invited Papadopoulos to attend and to potentially speak at 2 international energy conferences, including one that was to be held in Moscow in September 2016, 506. Text message Milan and Papadopoulos. Papadopoulos ultimately did not attend either conference. On July 31st, 2016, following his in-person meeting with Milan, Papadopoulos emailed Trump campaign official Bob Denizik to say that he had been contacted by some leaders of Russian-American voters here in the U.S. about their interest in voting for Mr. Trump, and to ask whether he should put you in touch with their group, U.S.-Russia Chamber of Commerce, 507. Email Papadopoulos to Denizik. Denizik thanks Papadopoulos for taking the initiative, but asked him to hold off with outreach to Russian Americans because too many articles had already portrayed the campaign, then campaign chairman Paul Manafort, and candidate Trump as being pro-Russian. 508. Email Denizik to Papadopoulos. On August 23, 2016, Milan sent a Facebook message to Papadopoulos promising that he would share with you the disruptive technology that might be instrumental in your political work for the campaign. 509. Facebook message Milan to Papadopoulos. Papadopoulos claimed to have no recollection of this matter. 510. Papadopoulos, 9/2017. On November 9, 2016, shortly after the election, Papadopoulos arranged to meet Milan in Chicago to discuss business opportunities, including potential work with Russia, billionaires who are not under sanctions. 511. Facebook message Milan to Papadopoulos. The meeting took place on November 14, 2016 at the Trump Hotel and Tower in Chicago. 512. Facebook message Milan to Papadopoulos. According to Papadopoulos, the two men discussed partnering on business deals, but Papadopoulos perceived that Milan's attitude toward him changed when Papadopoulos stated that he was only pursuing private sector opportunities and was not interested in a job in the administration. 513. Papadopoulos, 519-17. The two remaining in contact, however, had extended online discussions about possible business opportunities in Russia. 514. Facebook message Papadopoulos and Milan. Facebook message Milan to Papadopoulos. The two also arranged to meet at a Washington, D.C. bar when both attended Trump's inauguration in late 2017. 515. Facebook message Papadopoulos and Milan. 3. Carter Page. Carter Page worked for the Trump campaign from 2016 to September 2016. January 2016 to September 2016. He was formally and publicly announced as a foreign policy advisor by the candidate in March 2016, 516. Page was interviewed by the FBI during 5 meetings in March 2017 before the special counsel's appointment. Grand jury. Page had lived and worked in Russia, and he had been approached by Russian intelligence officers several years before he volunteered for the Trump campaign. During his time with the campaign, Page advocated pro-Russia foreign policy positions and traveled to Moscow in his personal capacity. Russian intelligence officials had formed relationships with Page in 2008 and 2013, and Russian officials may have focused on Page in 2016 because of his affiliation with the campaign. However, the investigation did not establish that Page coordinated with the Russian government in its efforts to interfere with the 2016 presidential election. A. Background. Before he began working for the campaign in 2016, Page had substantial prior experience studying Russian policy issues and living and working in Moscow. From 2004 to 2007, Page was the deputy branch manager of Merrill Lynch's Moscow office. 517. Testimony of Carter Page, hearing before the U.S. House of Representatives, Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, November 2, 2017. Exhibit. There he worked on transactions involving the Russian energy company Gazprom and came to know Gazprom's deputy chief financial officer, Sergei Yatsenko. In 2008, Page founded Global Energy Capital LLC, GEC, an investment management and advisory firm focused on the energy sector and emerging markets. 519, grand jury. Redacted. 520, grand jury. The company otherwise had no sources of income, and Page was forced to draw down his life savings to support himself and pursue his business venture. 521, grand jury. Page asked Yatsenko to work with him at GEC as a senior advisor on a contingency basis. Grand jury. 522, page 330-17, at 10, grand jury. In 2008, Page met Alexander Bulatov, a Russian government official who worked at the Russian consultant in New York. 523, grand jury. Page later learned that Bulatov was a Russian intelligence officer. Grand jury. Redacted. 524, grand jury. In 2013, Viktor Podobny, another Russian intelligence officer working covertly in the United States under diplomatic cover, formed a relationship with Page. 525, grand jury. Redacted. Podobny met Page at an energy symposium in New York City and began exchanging emails with him. 526, complaint. 34. Podobny and Page also met in person on multiple occasions, during which Page offered his outlook on the future of the energy industry and provided documents to Podobny about the energy business. 527, complaint. 34. In a recorded conversation on April 8, 2013, Podobny told another intelligence officer that Page was interested in business opportunities in Russia. 528, complaint. 32. In Podobny's words, Page got hooked on